This is the friendly neighborhood Mewmin. Welcome back to another video on all things creating textures, logos, custom stuff from PWA Universe, original cause. That's your thing. This is the channel. Please give me a like and subscribe. I'm going to show you today what not to do when you are creating face textures. I'm just going to get straight into it because I've got a face texture here that I'm working on. Okay. I'm going to just show you in a bit what we're going to be looking at. I'm going to get some of these things off. So I'm not really working on this face texture. What I'm doing is just highlighting a few things that we need to probably be looking at doing when we're not trying to do face textures. I'm all about ease of stuff, how to do things better, work smarter, not harder. I'm always promoting in my life of work efficiencies to make the people that I'm in charge of as a manager have a nicer day, have an easier day, but be more efficient. When it comes to making money, I'd rather look at efficient ways of using what we've got rather than try and cut budgets and that sort of thing. When it comes to your face texture, the first thing you want to do is actually get a really good reference. This one you've got at the moment, you see that glaring light down the middle, and if you already agree with me that was what I was going to say, please make sure you do comment down below. But the glaring light right down the middle, because it's clearly a headshot for some sort of model. Something more like this one here that I've highlighted probably work a little better, okay? Because unlike that one, and I'm going to get this one, I'm going to need this in a minute. Unlike that one there, this shine here is really going to give us some issues coming up. However, step 2 on what not to do is how we can try and get rid of that. Now, whenever I see people try and get rid of these sort of things, okay, one of the first things, and what I used to be guilty of, I'd get myself an airbrush tool or some sort of airbrush, create myself a new pixel layer, okay, and then I'd literally make it sure it's darkened and I'd like this. Now, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but as you can see, it's left some blotches on his forehead. And what's going to happen there, not only will that make you a bit discoloured in game, but regardless of how good you do that, you are going to, especially with someone who had wrinkles, you are literally airbrushing the wrinkles out of them. So you're taking the quality out of the reference that you've already got, okay? It is workable, you can do something with it, and if I had more time or if it wasn't for educational purposes, I would do it if this was the only reference to my client, for example. Who, if you want to get free textures or commission textures, link in the description. My Patreon's got free textures you can grab all the time. But I also do commissions as well. So if this was a commission and someone couldn't get me a better picture than that, I would make it work. But what I would prefer to do is probably just select the area with a selection tool, okay? And I would then look at maybe bringing the exposure down for that area. Maybe not that much, okay? Maybe look at just the brightness and the contrast. And we bring something, darken it a little. Happens if we play with the contrast, yeah. And by doing those edits, I'm not, as you could see there, I'm not losing any of the actual thing. I'm just changing the elements. And again, that's another thing to get in touch with of the hues and how hue affects brightness, because I don't think people kind of understand sometimes. You can't just take this colour here, colour it in and expect it to work. Secondly, what not to do. If this was like I said with that lady that we had here, what we can try and do, okay, you can see she's got much darker on one side of her face, okay. What I would do is I would probably I would first duplicate this, so I've just duplicated that there, okay. I would look to flip it horizontal, yeah, okay. And then what I would do is I would set the opacity about 50%, maybe line the eyes up a little better, yeah. And then I want to keep one side of it, so I'm just going to bring the opacity straight up again. I'm going to keep this side, the lighter side, but just then get rid of the side that I don't want. However, you do end up with this really, really symmetrical looking face, which doesn't always work. I think they're a bit weird as well, if I'm being honest. But you can play about with the opacity, yeah. So it's not as total symmetrical. Play about with it a bit more if you want. Maybe just erase bits from that bit. It's up to you how you do it anyway. You can play about with that sort of thing. And I think those are probably the things that I would say are the main issues that I see what people are doing and how you can ruin a texture before you even start. And again, I am all about smarter, not harder. However, the last thing I would say, maybe it's something you go and do, not what you shouldn't be doing, okay? But what I would urge you to do is have patience. Don't rush through your textures. There's easy ways of doing it. If you look at the links in the description, there's probably going to be a video towards the end of the video here of how I do my face textures. They're quite simple ways of doing them. You can do them on your phone now, and I would really, really say go and have a look. However, I would just say you need to have patience. Have a look at channels like myself, and we touched on this before when you're going about people thieving content. There's plenty of channels like myself with tips and creations of how to create face textures. If you watch a few, put the effort in, have patience and practice. I see too many people just get frustrated, give up. Even abuse I've had on Twitter before now, because I give them some options of what they could do a little bit better, and they took offence to that, and they just wanted me to do the work for them and for nothing. So put the effort in. Have a little patience. Practice makes perfect, as the old saying goes. Or, when I was learning guitar, practice is practice. You'll never stop learning. I think I'm pretty good at textures now, but I still always finding new ways to improve my textures. And maybe that's another video coming up of how to improve already existing textures. I am the friend of the neighbourhood. If you haven't already, let me know in the comments what you think, what you're struggling with, what help I can help you with. See you soon. We've got coming up some streams for the Invasion PPV. You can look on Twitter to enter your car or download them on the day. We'll have a chat. It's your cars versus my cars. See if you can beat my PWA roster. We'll see on the night what score it's going to be. We're then, before 2K25 comes out, we're having the car review. So I'll be reviewing your cars live on Twitch and on YouTube now. And then when the game is released, we'll do a car review in the first few weeks. I'm the friend of the neighbourhood, Mewmin. Thank you. Have a good evening. Tell someone you love them. Bye-bye.